All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timothy Fennell. I'm the CEO here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds and General Manager of the San Diego County Fair. I'm here with Katie Mueller, our Deputy General Manager. Unfortunately, we're here to speak to you about 4 incidences of E. coli. We were notified early this morning of 3 incidences and then a 4th one. Unfortunately, a young child, we learned about 3 hours ago, passed away. I want to say our hearts, our prayers, our thoughts go out to the family and the friends of this young child. We're devastated. It appears that these folks attended the fair between June 8th and June the 15th, and were involved with contact with possibly the livestock animals or the petting zoo. No contamination has to do with food service or food at all. That's been verified. We're taking all precautions. We'll be shutting down to the public any possible contact with the livestock or the petting zoo. And we're following all directives of the county health department. The fair will continue. We hope folks will come out and visit the fair. Again, we are heartbroken over this incident, and we'll have folks here tomorrow from the county if there's more follow-up, which I'm sure there will be. Katie Mueller is here. Katie, if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything else you'd like to add, Katie, please do.
I'd just like to reiterate what Tim has stated earlier, that we're heartbroken by the news of this child, and safety's always been and will continue to be our #1 priority here at the fair going forward, and we hope that people will come out to the fair and enjoy all that we have to offer in addition to the animals.
What I'd also like to add is we take safety as our #1 priority and precaution. We have washing stations and signage telling people if you touch an animal or if you're in the livestock area, please wash your hands. Unfortunately, fetus can get on your sneakers or on an animal's coat, and a young child might touch that, put it in their mouth, those kind of things. So again, safety is our #1 priority. I can't strongly recommend enough that you have to wash your hands anytime you're around any animal, for that matter, before you eat. So again, we are devastated by this news, but we're moving forward. We're taking every precaution, and again, the fair will continue through the 4th of July.
Are the animal exhibits shut down as of the moment you were informed of this, or are they shut down starting tomorrow?
As soon as the county health department informed us we should take that directive and follow that, we did that immediately following directives from the county health department.
Could you run through some of the timeline for us then? When it was discovered by the board, when it was discovered by the health department, and all of that?
We were notified sometime this morning that there were 3 cases of E. coli. The county came out and did some investigation, determined it had nothing to do with food and beverage areas, and that it was possibly over in the livestock area. They identified that the people that became infected were between the June 8th and June 15th, and that symptoms were first appeared between June 10th and June 16th. So as soon as we were notified by the county, we went into action, and as soon as we got directives from the county, we started shutting down these areas.
The boy died on June 24th. Why were you barely notified this morning?
I can't answer that question. That's a question for the county health department. We were notified this evening that the child had passed away. We were not notified this morning.
The health department indicating that 5 to 10% of these cases could result in fatalities because of a kidney infection as a result of these. Do we have a clear understanding of how the 2-year-old actually, or what actually was the cause of death of this 2-year-old?
We do not. At this point, we do not. Again, I would ask you to direct those questions to the county health department.
Or is this just a cluster of 4? Could there be more, and what are we doing to determine that?
Well, again, possibly there could be more. More than likely, not, because it's that window when those folks were here. Those livestock animals have come and gone. So we're hopeful there won't be any more cases.
Have you been able to determine why during that period of time these children were affected? Was there something going on in the animal stalls? Was there a special event that drew more children into the animal exhibits or anything like that?
At this point, I can't add any additional information because we don't know at this point. Possibly, it could have been the type of the animal that was being shown. We don't know at this point.
With Friday being one of the busier days here at the fair, you learned of the, at least the E. coli infections this morning, from my understanding.
That's correct.
Why did we wait until this evening to get this release instead of immediately when you found out?
We've take directives at the county health department. We followed them. They were doing their investigation. They informed us that they were going to have a press release, and they informed us of the death of this young child.
What impact do you suppose this is going to have on the fair? The animal exhibits are very popular here.
Mhm.
People, there are entire classes that come here for these exhibits. But it's a scary thing, and certainly if you're a parent, you bring kids here. What do you have to say to those parents, and what impact do you think this is going to have on attendance going forward?
Well, I would say that there's many aspects of the fair. Obviously, animals and livestock is a major part of that. Again, I would strongly encourage families, if you come out and you touch animals, whether it's at this location or any location, you wash your hands. And I can't stress that enough. But the fair goes on. We have other exhibits here at the fair. We obviously have rides, and we have other, wonderful opportunities, entertainment, and those kind of things.
In the transfer of E. coli, I know this is probably a health department question, but from your understanding, we're talking about children petting an animal's head or side, or right? Or what are we talking about?
Oh, in a petting zoo, yeah, you're petting the animal. Potentially, if it's, if indeed they were infected by going through the petting zoo.
And then they would have to ingest something after they...
Well, they touch it, and they can put their fingers and hands in their mouths. That would be an example.
There will be a representative from the health department here tomorrow at 10 a.m. that can answer any medical or clinical questions
Yeah.
that you have about E. coli.
At 10 a.m., is it a kind of an organized media event, or?
That's the plan. I suspect we'll hold it here in this room.
Do we know anything about the children? Were they all local? Were they out of town?
We don't have that information.
What about precautions for future petting zoos and animal exhibits? Are we can we do anything about those now? Are we thinking about any kind of precautions or changes going forward?
Well, I would stress that this is a rarity. To my knowledge, this is the first time this has happened at this fairgrounds. It's happened at other facilities, other fairgrounds. Again, can't stress enough, wash your hands, watch your children. Make sure that they're, if they touch an animal, that, shortly thereafter, they're washing their hands and making sure that, strollers, or, sneakers, footwear, those kind of things, kept clean.
It's odd that as many times as this fair has gone on with so many animal exhibits, this has never happened before.
I agree.
It must make you curious. And so in your curiosity, have you come up with any kind of understanding of how this could have happened now as opposed to not before?
My experience, this is my 27th fair. I visited other fairs. Other fairs, water contamination. There was a fair, for example, back in New York about 10 years ago. They had some issues. But my own, if I had to speculate, and I don't really like to do that, I suspect it could be, walking through the livestock area, getting sneakers contaminated possibly, touching something. Who knows if the child bent over and touched something? Don't know. this
I
point.
think we'll wait for the county health department
Yeah,
to conclude
I
their
don't wanna speculate,
investigation.
yeah.
And then we will take appropriate action based on what their investigation uncovers.
What's
Yeah.
that investigation entail? Do you know what they're gonna be doing and how they're gonna try and locate the source?
We don't know anything yet. All we know is what has been distributed in the press release and what we've told you so far. So we will find out what next steps are shortly.
Is there a chance the exhibits could return before the fair closes?
No.
I don't think so. You know, we always want to play on the side of safety.
But
I wouldn't anticipate that.
there's a great deal of investment in the livestock and the
Sure.
showings and all of that, those things for families involved in that. They'll still be exhibiting, it just won't be public. Is that right?
They'll be there. The children, FFA and 4-H members have been exhibiting at the fair all week, and tomorrow it concludes their show with the junior livestock auction. They'll be allowed to continue that opportunity because there is no public contact. There hasn't been any public contact at that event ever, and we will be closing off all public contact in the inside of the barns. But the livestock auction will move forward as planned.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and it's a big deal to the kids. I do appreciate your opinion because of your experience, so I didn't feel like you were speculating, so I appreciate you saying that. Is there anything that happened with the barn, or happened with the water, or any incident that you can think back and think, maybe it was this, that occurred before the fair started?
No. Nope.
What are we gonna do differently now moving forward with everything that you guys have learned and with your experience and now that this has happened?
Well, I think, again, we're going to wait and see what the investigation determines. But I anticipate, again, you know, we'll go forward in future years. We'll have livestock here, we'll have animals here. We'll certainly insist and reconfirm with everyone, make sure you wash your hands and you know, follow proper procedures and precautions and those kind of things.
And I want to reiterate that hand washing has always been an important
Absolutely.
part of the fair. We have many hand washing stations available. They're stocked with soap and hand wipes. We encourage people to wash their hands through signage throughout the fairgrounds. This is not a new issue. Like Tim mentioned, it's happened at other facilities, and we take this very seriously, and in light of what the investigation finds, we will continue to take it seriously and make adjustments as needed.
Will there be a concerted effort by the fair moving forward, knowing that you're going to continue to have animals and kids around animals? A lot of the people that come to the fair, to the petting zoos, are families that don't live on farms, they don't live around animals, they're not used to livestock, they're not used to being around, you know, small, those type of animals. Do you anticipate more education moving forward in the future in light of what's happened as far as trying to educate people who may not know this information as readily available as persons like yourself who deal with this all the time?
I certainly think, you know, that consumer protection is an important issue that affects not just our fair, but any event, petting zoo, fair, festival, anything that you ever attend that involves animals. And I think that going forward, you know, we have done a great job over the years of educating people about consumer protection, and I see that, you know, even being more robust as we go forward.
I mean, we have signage, we have people verbally telling people, you know, when they leave the petting zoo area, as an example, take your child and wash your hands, so.
Can you describe the kind of access that, you know, children do have to these animals, like at the petting zoos and whatnot? Do they have full access to-
I'd be happy to address that. So quite a few years ago, in the interest of consumer protection, we changed the petting zoo actually, where they only have access through the bars of a cage. So they aren't able to just roam freely around with the animals and have, you know, unlimited contact with their feces and all the other things that happen. So they're only able to walk through the animals and feed them and pet them through the bars of the enclosure. And we did that in the interest of public health. So Yes, so
The
we take,
exhibits are that way too?
excuse me?
The exhibits too, the other animal exhibits?
So
are
the
that
other
way?
animal exhibits actually are not inviting the public to touch the animals. It happens, you know, people push, I've seen people push their strollers up into cows, you know, lift their kids over enclosures to get pictures with the animals and that kind of thing, but we do not allow public contact in terms of touching the animals in the livestock barns.
And is there any type of livestock that would be more conducive to carrying this disease or?
That would be a question for public health, yeah.
And
Is there anything else we should know?
Have you guys touched base with family members as yet, or will you guys be doing it anytime soon?
we don't even know who those family members are at this point. What you saw in the press release as far as the individuals, as much as we know.
Anything further you guys want to add?
No, again, we're, quite frankly, our prayers and hearts, our thoughts go out to the families and the friends of the family. We're devastated. I don't know how to stress that any more than that.